Daniel is well known to many of us, but I'm sure there's some in the room who don't know Daniel. By the way, my name is, if you're visiting, my name is Roy, and I'm one of the pastors here. As I say, I'm here with Daniel. Daniel, some don't know you. Why don't you just introduce yourself?
Thanks, Roy. So, like Roy said, my name is Daniel. I'm married to my wonderful wife, Leandra, and I'm currently doing my essay articles where during my 9 to 5 I manage the sales operations and enablement for a global sales team. I'm also trying to grow a small business on the side of that, and I'm also Jewish through my mother's side, but most importantly, I'm a follower of Christ.
So that's a lot, but that's Daniel in a nutshell. Daniel, that last part that we really want to zero in on this morning is so you're a follower of Jesus, but you haven't always been a follower of Jesus. And so it'll be good to know what life was like before you pledged your allegiance to Him, and how you came to know this Jesus that you want to follow.
Sure. So growing up, it was quite a nominal Judeo-Christian background, not too much into the Jewish side, nothing too much into the Christian side. I do remember growing up with an Old Testament picture book. I got to see David and Goliath and all the soldiers and pictures, which was pretty cool to me. But my thoughts of God was, there must be a God. I look at creation, I look at all the things created around me, there must be a God. But my relationship with Him was quite transactional. So it was a relationship where, maybe if I'm a good boy, God will give me some things. If I'm good, do this. He'll give me good marks, or give me good friends, or something like that. And so it was quite a transactional relationship that I had, almost like a Father Christmas type relationship. Hopefully I'm on the good list at the end of the year, and then it's going to be a good year. And then what ended up happening was when I was 13, grade 7, my dad was leaving for work one day, and he was held up at gunpoint as he was leaving, and it was quite dramatic. I actually thought I was going to lose my dad, but thank God I didn't. And what ended up coming from that point is he started looking at some churches. He found Christchurch Midrand. He asked if I wanted to tag along, and I came with him. And that was the very first time where I learned that I have an enormous debt, that I have sinned against the God of the universe, that I have done everything wrong. I wasn't this good boy that I thought I was, but I have this debt, and there's no way that I could pay it back in a million lifetimes. But God didn't leave it at that He actually died for me, and He paid the price for me so that the debt would be bought at the cross, where He died and was buried and resurrected. And so at that point, my relationship to God changed. It wasn't this transactional relationship anymore, but I was actually reconciled back to God of the universe, and I felt a very personal relationship with Him. And now that's come out through my work and my life, and now I want to live a life that glorifies and honors Him.
That's powerful. And that's a massive change. It's night and day, isn't it? Those of us who do know you know that out of that change there is now a passionate Daniel Martin, a young man who's passionate for Jesus, and we want to understand why. So just explain, where does this passion come from?
I think that passion, it comes out of knowing the debt that had to be paid for me. Just knowing how I've transgressed against this God of the universe, and I've broken His holy laws, and that has moved me to a point of actually seeing how much He actually loved me, that He was willing to come and die for me whilst I was His enemy. Because, for my wife, I love my wife, I would die for my wife, but for my enemy, I'm not too sure about that. But this God of the universe, knowing full well that I'm an antagonist against Him, that I'm His enemy, He came and died for me, and that's the extent of His love for me. That moves me to a place where I can only be passionate about this God and share that good news of how amazing it is that He actually came and paid that price, knowing full well that I could never pay it by myself. And that's moved me to a place of passion where I love Him and I thank Him, and I want to share that love that He has given me. And so that's where that passion has come out of.
And it's infectious. We can hear it as you describe it. There may be some, I'm sure there are, who say, oh, that's wonderful for you, that's your story. It's not mine. Maybe there's some who are perhaps indifferent or lukewarm, and they just don't know Jesus in the way that you describe him. So what would you say to them?
Sure. I would say Jesus is a real person. He's a historical figure, Jesus of Nazareth. When we speak about being in relationship with God, it's not just this fairy idea. It's a real person that we're in relationship with. So, the best way is to look at the evidence and to make a decision based on what you see there. There's only one man I know of that's fulfilled hundreds of prophecies before he's even been born, and he's born, he fulfills them, and that's Jesus of Nazareth, the God of the universe. And so I would encourage you to go look at the evidence, to see it for yourself. There's plenty out there, and when we're thinking about God, especially when I was young, it was this idea of my mind. What did I think of God? But the most important thing is to actually let God speak to us and tell Him about us, about who He is, more than what we think He is. And so that's where we can find out more in the Word of God. And so I encourage anyone to look into the Bible, look into the evidence, look into the history, and go and see for yourself that this Jesus of Nazareth loves you and He actually came and died for you, whilst you and I were both His enemies.
As I said before, your passion is infectious. Thank you for sharing your story. Should we give a round of applause?